Welcome to another episode of Nothing's Ever That Serious. We got a sign, and we got a new dress code.
Apparently. Guru,
you got some explaining to do.
LL Guru.
Yeah.
What's happening?
What's going on? Crisscross make you wanna Guru make you wanna jump? Can you just stand up for a second so that they can see the full fit? It's a jumpsuit for people who can't see. You know the ones he's got the onesie on.
Onesie.
I actually like it. It's pretty cool. He's got a flap in the back, you know.
He has an airway in the back of his
Yeah. But,
well, that's interesting, Guru.
Yeah, that's cool.
So they kind of just popped up on me today and decided we were going to podcast. So
That's right.
I'm not properly prepared. Usually we don't podcast this early, and I just got off of work. So
where were you working? The Detroit Stamp?
All right. So one of the other things I've started to do, I joined a dance crew.
Oh, okay.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. So
we're getting served right now.
I didn't just get off of work.
Okay.
But I went off work, participated in some of my extracurricular activities, and rushed back here.
Can you show us a little?
Yeah.
I'll save a little something for you.
Y'all have a name?
It'll come.
Yeah, what's your group's name? Nuck if you buck.
We're fresh to the scene, so we're still working on names. So if you guys have any name suggestions, please leave them in the comments.
Right now, the working title should be the Gurus. Because you're the leader, right?
I'm not the leader. We have a hierarchy. I'm actually third in command, but I'm gonna work
the Jabberbuckies. No, okay, we keep working. We'll keep working. All right.
So, fellas, something that's become more of a thing recently, as I'm doing a lot of like reflecting in my life.
Okay.
And one of the recurrent themes about the people that I'm closest to,
right,
is everybody is themselves all the time, no matter what. I've never seen either one of you try to be anything outside of yourself, good or bad. And
Guru's like that?
Guru's definitely like that. You're like that. Even just on this show, one of the things that is the most apparent is all the crap that you get into.
Right.
And it's because of you.
I'm unapologetically me.
Yeah, you do something, we be like, is this a Drew thing or like a general thing? Those are the type of people that I gravitate towards.
I knew that about myself, but I didn't know that about Guru. I thought Guru was...
Guru
fake.
is 1,000% himself.
Really? Because I remember when I had to pick up the... No, this is serious. This is not a joke. Remember you were going to give me the hard drive so that I could start editing, but you were like, I'm out with some other friends. Yeah. And I showed up, and they were like, where you going, you little bitch? And Guru was like, I just got to give this to my friend real quick.
Where was this, Guru?
Yeah, where was this?
Y'all was at a bar,
he was wearing this exact same outfit, and everybody else had on the same outfit.
No sleeves. Everybody had no sleeves.
Everyone had no sleeves and bucket hats.
That was my dance crew.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he did say he was third in command, so maybe that was the first in command.
That was the ace.
So yeah.
Okay.
We have to work our way up. He actually calls all of us his
Lil Biatch.
Yeah, that's why we're working on a new name, because
that's his name in the group. But Guru is 100% himself.
Right.
Always honest. You are 100% yourself.
Right.
Just a clown.
Yeah. But one thing I remember what you said with the convo is you have some friends who are kind of crazy like me, but they don't know it.
They don't know.
They lack self-awareness.
That was the difference with you I said. Because you know it.
Yeah.
You know you off.
And I still choose. Choose to be this way.
Yeah.
And we talked about it on this podcast on the birthday episode when no one showed up to my birthday party, and I was like, I want to change. Why is my levels changing? Are you experimenting?
Nope, I'm not touching it.
Oh.
He is a DJ.
Last night the DJ saved my life, just partying.
Last night the DJ saved my life.
Anyway,
we gotta get you a vinyl.
Yeah, we gotta introduce you to the old
to go with your breakdance crew.
Yeah. What was I saying?
You said that you were talking about your birthday episode.
On my birthday episode, we talked about how I wanted to have more self-awareness because I wanted to stop making people feel uncomfortable.
And you know what?
What?
You gained it but you still use it for evil.
We actually had this conversation with my family, and we were talking about that. We were like, why do people have different levels of awareness? It was like, why do 10 people go to a job and all 10 of them go home and tell their spouse that the other 9 don't know what they're doing?
Oh.
That's funny, yeah.
Like, they don't know what they doing over there.
Yeah, it's like somebody's got to not know what they're doing.
Or somebody got to know.
Or somebody's got to know. For example, like, you know, I'm trying something out with a young lady, and she always says to me, "You always think you're right." And the issue with that statement is
That you do.
No, I know that I'm right.
So she has it wrong.
She
It's
does.
not think.
Right. She should say, "You are always right." And I think she is.
You know you're always right.
I think she is starting to say it and get it, but there's like a hint of sarcasm.
Slowly
in
keep
it.
bringing her along.
Yeah, she's like, "You're right. You're always right." I'm like, I know.
And even though that may be a sick joke, I've been around for some of those.
Right. Oh, from some of the arguments.
It gotten difficult.
Right.
I actually got put in the middle of one.
Did you?
I had to be the bellman.
You did.
As much as I want to come at you for saying you're always right, I have been in those situations where I've had someone be like, "You always think you're right," and I'm standing there and I'm like, in this situation, I am like, what?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. So
Right.
I don't know. I understand the frustration.
Whenever somebody said that I think I'm right, even if I'm wrong, I'm more right than them.
Well, here's the thing. My objective is not to be right. Like, first of all, I don't care
To be right.
to be right.
Right.
And I can say that with like 100% honesty.
People don't believe me when I say that.
And I'm like, I want you to prove
When
me
I
wrong.
think I'm right,
right. I'm like,
trust me, I ain't trying to give myself the trophy for no reason.
like who cares?
It's
Like,
mine because it makes sense.
What do I get?
I get nothing out of
I
being
get
right.
to tell you
I'm just
that I'm
right
smarter than you.
all the time.
No, I think about it, and I'm like,
Even though it sounds like a joke, I know what you're saying. Like, I do the same thing.
yeah. And Guru Singh's law, like,
No, I'm with you. I get you.
okay. So
Because I'm like, I'm taking all parties into consideration.
I am.
And then I'm like,
Why?
what I came up with still makes the more sense.
Right.
Versus the other person may only be self-absorbed and only want to
Right.
be right. And that's it.
Right.
Whether it makes sense or not. And I'm
Right.
like, I went through all of
And
that.
it sounds like we're just talking about girls.
Oh,
Maybe
which
that's
brings us.
Maybe that's a flaw. Maybe
Women are broken?
Maybe it's a biological flaw. We can't go down this route.
We can't.
There's a movement against male podcasts that bash women, and we can't fall into that.
Darn it.
We are a comedy we are a non-political comedy podcast.
Non-political podcast. Non-political podcast.
We just talking, we just potting. Last night the DJ took my line. All right, what were you saying, Guru?
So we all confirming we've all been told that we think we know everything.
Right.
Yeah, that we always have to be right.
But it's true though.
So
We are always right.
Yeah.
I don't think we're always right.
We're never
However,
wrong.
I think so. This is what I think. I think there's a lot of wrongs in between the rights, and then confrontation comes. In that moment, we're right, and we're like, "Yo, we're so right." Like, what are you talking about?
I ain't been wrong in
And-
10 years.
I've been wrong a couple times.
In 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got the longest streak then.
Yeah.
But I feel like since it just comes, I mean, it's in that confrontational moment. A lot of times, it seems like we always have to be right.
And that's
We're right when it counts.
Well, here's my strength in the confrontational moments because I feel
You have a strength.
I feel like emotion can cloud your judgment. I've been also told that I lack a
You do.
healthy varying of emotions.
Yeah,
That's
this
what-
is back to that spectrum thing.
This is the thing. I think you can be right, but at the same time, like you take into account every side, but you don't take into account
How that person
Feelings.
feels. Yeah, that's the issue.
and that's where the issue lies.
Who
But
cares about feelings?
Yeah, but feelings don't make
Feelings
you
don't
right.
get us to the finish line.
And that's exactly
They don't
this
make you
goes,
right, but
and this goes back to what Jay's talking about.
Sometimes they cancel out right or wrong. It's like
Wow, he is a bitch.
Well, you're a little.
Start the music.
Look
you can't look. I
I'm a
can
little
my
bitch.
dance crew. We can go into a public place and break dance, right? It's right.
This is called
There's
the
nothing
little bitch.
wrong about it.
Big bitch.
But if it's in the middle of a wake, we can't, or candlelight vigil,
Why?
we it's not anything wrong with it.
Because it's gonna hurt people's
But
feelings.
there's still feelings
That's true. That's true, Guru.
there. So it's it's not.
We are still right. But there are some scenarios where right looks wrong.
Because of somebody's feelings.
But I think
Because-
you
yeah,
neglect
because
the
of other
feelings.
Okay.
I think we've all been neglecting.
I gotta
the
take
feelings.
people's feelings into consideration, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, it's interesting you brought up that time you had to bail me out.
Yes.
Yeah, this was recent, and it had to do with our podcast.
Okay. Explain.
If you guys recall, I had
A former
a former
contestant.
a former contestant of rightness in my life, and we brought her on the show.
Fun episode.
Holla.
Great lady.
We released
Shouts
that one
out to
already.
you.
Like I said, this period in my life, I'm trying something different.
Right.
You know, share my meals with somebody
Share your meals consistently
with the same person
and exclusively.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so far, it's going
pretty fine.
pretty good. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Everything's good.
I look happy, don't I?
This is what it's like to be happy,
Huh?
right?
This is what you guys were talking about?
Forever.
Did she tell you had to do this episode after you brought Hollow on?
This is damage control
This is.
She said you need to tell them we're dating
right now.
pronto. Next episode.
No, there was a little, as you know from previous episodes, there's been tiffs.
There's a trouble in paradise sometimes.
There was a bigger tiff. Mm-hmm. Some might even call it a buck.
It's just so stupid.
We've upgraded from tiffs to bucks. There was a buck that we had my former.
Yeah, Jax.
I had my ex on the episode, and
You're next.
and
like it.
yeah, my next didn't like it too much. We had a discussion about it. To answer your question, she was like, why don't you do that as an episode? Ask the guys who would be right in that situation.
Right.
What situation?
Bring in your ex on.
Bring your ex to work day.
Bring your ex to work day. Yeah. And the first thing that she was saying was, I brought it to her attention 3 times, and we never agreed that it was okay. And then the second thing was, like, just being friends with your exes in general. She thinks that it's okay to be friends with your exes in some situations, but I maintained a friendship with this person, but I never gave her the reason why.
Got you. That's
And
the part.
until it became like an issue. And then the third reason, she said, Guru as the producer, he could come up with a better idea than having my ex on, which
I don't know why I got brought into this. It was between Drew and her, I thought, but I guess
She threw an egg.
Yeah.
I was about to defend you, but now I don't know.
So let's break this down. Like we said, we like to look at things from all sides.
100%.
And we're even gonna take her feelings. I'm gonna take her feelings into consideration.
Remove yourself.
And I'm gonna take her feelings into consideration.
Okay. So you're going to be a little biatch.
I'm gonna be a little biatch. Let's take it to the not to the court, but
Okay.
the what do you call
Court
it?
of public opinion.
Hey, that's why we connect.
That's why
that's
we
the word
connect.
I was looking for.
Damn it.
You want to go first on issue number 1?
Yeah,
Or you
issue
want me
number
to?
1.
Yeah, what's let's
Issue number 1.
what say her?
Okay, so first of all, episode number 1 of this podcast
That started it all.
that started it all. A girl has stole my remote.
Yes.
This is before she even existed.
I was there. Yep.
A girl
Wasn't-
stole my remote, and we potted, and we got to the bottom of it, and people kind of liked it. We were like, okay,
That was a good one.
That was a good one. That was fun. The production value wasn't there yet, but it was a good podcast. And it came up a couple more times.
That was a real recurring theme that was
Right.
like we thought was just a
Right.
part of the show.
So I was like, we were talking about how we want to get more guests on.
Right.
And so I was thinking, we kind of talked about it from our perspective. And I even talked about it with her.
Right.
And I was like, man, you should come on the show. And she's like, I need to come on the show because y'all be slandering my
Okay.
name.
Fair.
Yeah. And I said, that would be a good episode.
So far I follow.
And like I said, I was trying out the new
exclusivity
thing. And so I was like, I don't want to keep talking to her because there is history there. You know, we talked about relationships, boundaries this season. And I think at first I didn't take feelings into consideration, but then I had to consider my own feelings. I'd be like, well, how would I feel if,
she brought her ex to work?
No, not even that. See, I still feel different about that because I would just say in general.
Okay.
Say if I didn't bring her to work. Say if I was just staying in contact just for whatever reason. I can see how it might make me feel uncomfortable if somebody was staying in contact with their ex just for, no reason.
Because let me tell you, nothing good comes from it.
Really?
No, just playing. I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, I want to. No, I want to know what y'all.
That
really
doesn't help you because I would have been like,
I
if
think
y'all stay in contact,
we would have got back together.
No, but the door is open.
No.
Y'all don't. I'm not saying y'all.
You were here for the episode. You were here. When I called you,
you get a little tingle in the middle of the night.
When I called you to bail me out,
I did.
You said you could tell on the episode that this was all in the past. Like it
was all in the past. But it had a lot to do with her personality. It doesn't always work that way.
Her personality.
Yes.
That like I'm no longer interested in her personality.
No. I'm just saying like she was just a genuine person.
Oh yeah. She's a good person.
She's just a good person.
You want to keep, and that's what I was trying to explain.
Here goes the other thing. Y'all aren't really friends.
Me and her?
Yeah.
Why you say that, Guru? What
say Guru?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know as much as I thought I knew. But I thought in the way you guys were keeping contact truly was really solely around the pod.
You thought every time we called, we were like, so about the remote every time?
The current interactions were all around the pod.
No. After I decided to be exclusive,
yes,
I stopped talking to her.
Yes.
Like we would catch up every month. Like what's new? How are you doing?
Every month?
Like once a month. What, you thought it was more than that?
I thought it was less than that.
I did too.
Because you said I stopped talking to her, and then you said
less than that.
Once a month.
It was once a month, and then once I started in the relationship.
Oh, that was before you.
Got you.
Okay.
Then
I thought you were saying you got exclusive, and then it went down to once a month.
Yeah, me too.
No, once I got exclusive, it went down to like once every 2 months or 3 months. Why is that funny?
Hell of a slowdown, Andy.
This story just keep changing.
It's just, oh man.
No, you're not following.
So it went from twice a week to once a week.
I'll pull
drastic change.
All right, here. Read the dates of the messages I didn't delete.
So pretty.
What does that say? What date?
Thinking about you. What? Oh my.
What does that say? I missed the good old days.
Last night, hard eyes. Oh, wrong message. That wasn't even
this thread.
Oh, this one. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Running a little late. This bridge traffic is crazy.
What's this date? Come on, you could give me
July 30th.
Okay. Hold on.
July 29th. July 28th. July 27th. Oh, this one. May 17th. May 6th. You do not want me to say that date?
Oh, this date. Oh, yeah, don't say that date. All right, this is not going how I thought it would.
This ain't good, buddy. Just close it out. Please cut this. Cut this off the memory card. Don't even let her see this one.
Yeah. Can you switch the memory card?
There was a gap in communication.
Thank you.
But yeah, let's just leave it there. There was a gap in communication.
There was a gap. And
Guru, it was Valentine's Day.
I figured.
But who said it first?
I thought you did, but it could have been her.
No.
It was her?
Don't slander my name.
Clear your name, man. Okay.
All right. So, did we answer your question? I don't even remember what the question was.
There was a gap in communication, but Guru thought y'all talked less, I think. So did I.
So, we did talk less.
Not less than what I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, you talk less.
Yeah, less. Yes, less. Technically, less. Yes.
Okay.
That didn't look like you were, you know,
Keeping hope alive.
Right. I would say that.
Thank you. How much are you for
That one was 20. we worked out the number. Okay.
We'll settle up after the pod.
How much I owe you? Okay.
Okay. So I thought it would be a good idea for the episode. I brought it up 3 times. We're talking boundaries. You know, the relationship is new.
Yeah.
What boundaries are you comfortable with? Would you feel comfortable with? It's for work. This is work. At the end of the day, this is work.
It is work.
I think you kind of were alluding to it. How would I feel if she brought somebody to work? And I said, and I still hold true to this, I was like, if you had a podcast.
That's right. You did tell me this.
And you wanted to bring somebody to work from the past that I might feel uncomfortable with in other circumstances,
But you would understand it in the context
of work.
And I can actually believe that from you.
Thank you. What say you, Guru?
You think he's full of it?
So I think the context of what it was, it made sense.
To have her on?
Yes. However, that wasn't what her first point was. The first point was you guys talked about it 3 times and never came to a conclusion. So she never really said she was okay with it.
Right.
You guys never agreed with that, and then you just went on and did it.
Right.
So
that's
no
bitch.
Yeah, so that's where the issue lies. It's not so much.
Right.
Do I think it makes sense? Yeah. Could she think it makes sense? Yeah. But at the same time, you guys never came to that agreement.
Right.
And you knew she was uncomfortable with it.
I did know she was uncomfortable with it, yes. But I was trying to convey to her the importance of the podcast without having it compete.
But it wasn't that important. That's what I'm saying. I think
that's her third point. You're jumping to the third point.
Well,
we didn't need that. So you're saying we didn't need that episode?
We didn't need that.
It's
episode.
currently the highest. It's currently the highest viewed episode.
I disagree. I think we did need it.
But it could.
That was a great episode. Wait till you guys see it. Oh wait.
It
would have been a.
Yeah, this is.
It could have came. That episode could have came at any point.
Wait, I object. You had to do it now.
Right.
Any later, buddy.
Right. It would have been.
Oh,
You wouldn't make it to the studio.
That's true.
What?
You ain't getting here.
Oh.
She'd be like, boom.
Right.
I just think as that episode isn't going to do that much for us. The truth is, it's not changing our trajectory in any way. We're still going to end up in the same place.
Like a King Batch would.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we just talked about how good our chemistry is and how much we believe in this, like regardless, we're going to get there. So it's the question of really what did that one episode do?
Wait. This is a good. Okay, let's do this.
I feel like she just Venmo'd him $20.
I heard. You heard that?
I heard it.
What's a good number where we could say the episode was justified? Say if we break. What's our highest viewed?
I'm gonna present you with this question based on what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put you in my situation.
Gotcha.
You're dating a guy. Sorry, hold on. I was trying to put you on her. Sorry, I got confused.
That works.
Yeah, you're dating a. What was that? We go watch episode 25. You know that we're, this podcast is for everybody. Your partner. No. What did they say? He said that people were using partner. More exclusive language.
Your partner.
Yeah. So even in heterosexual relationships, they say partner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you and your partner.
Y'all like childish. Like, let's go.
This is what makes us great.
So you and your partner. This dude is stupid.
Right, for real. See, I'm always gonna be myself. I don't care.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. You and your partner are dating.
I'm doing.
I forgot what I was gonna say. All right, you and your partner are dating, right? You have a podcast still.
Yes.
Your partner supports your podcast, and you want to have your ex-partner on, and they're like, I feel uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to you, YouTube or something, and is like, wow, that's a great idea. What would be the amount of money, and would that make it okay?
That's when integrity comes in, and it's like, so with me, like I said, I know where this can go.
Right.
And all it takes is us putting in a certain just investment into it. So regardless if I get that sponsorship or not, it's going to come back around. So that's when, to me, it depends on what that relationship is to me. And
Damn, he's making me be
that's
serious.
up to you to be like, yo, what does this mean to me? Like,
what does the relationship with the partner mean?
Yeah, so I'm like,
Okay.
if it's my sister or something, like if it's like a deep relationship or something, no, I'm not ever crossing that line. If I've been dating this person for a few weeks and I'm like, I don't know, that's it. Of course, but it's like, it really just depends on the value you put into that relationship. Because at the end of the day, you're still gonna make it. Like if you believe in that dream and that vision, like there is never a point where it's worth it. And I will hold that stance. Even like we're recording,
but you're still talking about feelings versus
we're recording
art
that episode,
and things that we care
we're
about.
recording that episode before that came out. I would hold to that stance even if that episode went 1 million views and we got big off of it. I would still hold that stance because I still believe our podcast would have eventually got there.
So what if my ex was Megan Good and I was like, she agreed to come on and we're gonna get a lot of views, but my current person is gonna feel uncomfortable?
Well, one, this is what I'm gonna say. Depending on what that relationship is, it's not worth it. And this, I mean, that's up to you to decide. I'm not saying it's not worth it necessarily for her. All respect to you. But it's just
wait, what'd
like,
you say?
I said I'm not necessarily saying it's not worth it for her because I don't know what your value to is. But I'm just speaking in general. But it's a thing of.
Okay,
like
well,
if I'm in a marriage, 100%, there's nothing y'all could give me.
Okay, so let me ask you
But
this.
that's what I'm saying. What is your value to that situation?
See, I don't agree with what he's saying right now because we've had on this podcast discussions about what our number one goals are.
Well, this is the thing
in our lives right now. So,
but this is what I'm saying. If I was in a situation where I cared about someone, it wouldn't be worth it to me. I'm asking you how much you care about her.
I do care.
Okay, then it's not worth it. Don't do it.
We already recorded it.
Okay, it's over at that point.
It's coming out.
And it got 6 views.
We already recorded it, so it's getting posted at this point.
Right.
Guru is saying,
but at the end of the day, if tomorrow you were like, you know what, I don't want to do it, I'm gonna be like, all right, Drew, cool, and we're gonna move on and keep grinding.
Hey, not me, buddy.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm gonna put it out on my own.
Yeah, no, I see what he's saying.
Guru makes a good point.
He makes good points.
I do
well earned $40.
No, that's 60.
That's 60.
He got 60 for that one. You're a rich man. Guru makes valid sense. I think the most sense was probably a marriage or something like that.
Right. Oh, for sure.
I still think it's room that, of course, would be an issue, but I don't see this ending, y'all. There's no.
It was getting to it.
I know
it got there.
But if you think about it,
that's me underestimating how much what it meant to her.
Point is, like, I think you allow certain things to happen. It creates certain, I don't know the word, but just certain distances that have to be overcome. Some of which that will never be overcome, or some of which will add 5 years to your journey type of stuff, or like always be there nagging at little adding to other things. So it's like, it's this thing of, I don't think there's a level. I think it's beyond integrity. It's just a respect to your relationship and what you want out of life.
But here's how I envisioned it. You know that she's been part of the podcast.
Yep.
Yes.
Shouts out to you.
She's been here. She's helped us, gave us input on episodes.
Decorated,
helped us go out and helped us film, held the camera one time. I envisioned us doing it together. Like me saying...
Wait, doing what together?
Like the episode.
Okay.
Like me saying, like, this is what I want to do. I feel like it would help continue me on this trajectory, which is my, where I want to get with this podcast. And it's important to me. You're also important to me. I know it makes you feel uncomfortable, but I want to, like, let's talk about it. Let's, like, express those to me. At the end of the day, I'm still going to do it.
It's getting done.
It's getting done. Okay. But don't go off.
It's getting done.
But don't go off on your own. Start having all these thoughts like, know, why is he doing this? Maybe he wants to.
So you
keep
wanted
the door
to
open with
include her
I wanted
to make it as clean as possible. It was getting done.
Right. But I wanted her to ask questions. Or why her, like, okay, like, how much do you talk?
Because it's getting done.
It's getting done.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're going to record the podcast.
At the end, it's getting done.
I don't want to, don't put yourself up against the podcast. Like, let's do it together.
I can respect you bringing her into it. And I think you are right to be like, yo, this is what I want out of life. This is what I want to pursue. And I would like you to be on board. This is kind of how I need you to move if you want to be with me. I think that's completely fair.
Great.
I also think you have to realize that you have
so I'm right.
that you also have kind of, I don't want to say an unfair ask, but it's a different ask than a lot of relationships asks for. Because you are like, so this is the thing. You're not dating one other person right now. You're dating her, me, Jay, and all the subscribers and followers to this podcast.
Right.
Because you bring issues and you bring things here and you talk about it. And you are asking her to be a part of that. And like I said, I'm not going to say it's necessarily an unfair ask, because you can ask for whatever you kind of want in a relationship, but you have to understand that it's kind of like a very unusual ask, and it's something that's tough to adapt to.
Right. Because she'll say stuff like, I don't like the way the show looks. And that was something I had to get you to explain. And you explained it on the one of the episode 3.
Right.
When you were saying how when you cheated, you said that you fabricated the timeline, which we do on the podcast. Remember when Guru cheated?
I ain't cheated.
It's journalistic integrity at the end of the day.
Like we change. Like y'all get on me and say that like my intentions, because what was it? The news goodie, and
so many others.
So like that's the role that I've taken on this show
in this world of entertainment.
Right.
There's decisions that we have to make for the entertainment.
Exactly.
So if that means leaning into a character or
like she does, like we did it in this show. Like we were doing it with the text messages. Like it didn't really say Happy Valentine's Day. Our brains are made to entertain.
We're in entertainment mode.
Right.
And in this realm, if you're outside, if you're separate from it,
right.
I can get how, look, if you're not a part of it, of course it may look away to you.
And this kind of ties into why you hang out with me, because I live in this realm outside of the podcast.
In real life still live in that realm.
Right.
And we had a conversation about how at the end of the day it's almost like characters.
Right. And she's like, is it really a character?
If you can't
or
separate
did you have your ex on?
Right.
And I'm like, well, both.
Yeah, you had your ex on, but this is the only main thing to me and how I would look at it.
Right.
Because this existed beforehand. Right. It's kind of like she came into something that was already going. She did become a part of it, and we're greatly appreciative for it, but it is something that was there. These jokes and these references were there. Before. Right. I think, I'm sure if you were dealing with somebody or not, this is an episode that you would have wanted to do.
Yeah. And then she said, going back to the conversations that we had where I brought it up 3 times, she said, we did never make a decision because we could never see eye to eye, because I was trying to get her to understand the importance of it to me, and she was trying to get me to understand why it would make her feel uncomfortable. But then it would end with like, I get why you want to do it, and I don't want you to resent me because of how I felt and didn't allow you to do it. So I was like, cool, because at the end of the day, we're going to...
It's getting done.
It's getting done.
If anything is misunderstood, it's getting done.
It's getting done, and then we'll figure it out. Y'all, please go watch that episode so it's not,
so it's worth it.
So it's worth it.
We have to make that episode worth it.
I was
gonna say, this may kind of jump back to the third thing, but the way I view it, I agree with you that it was gonna get done, and it was,
because Guru is getting done.
It was a good it was a good topic, and as far as like the storyline goes and the progression, it was a good idea. Right. However, I truly believe, I can say without a doubt, it didn't have to be done. Like, I truly think we had the same trajectory. I do think there are moments where you say, we're doing this. It's gonna happen. Because you see, you have a vision,
right?
But I think in being in a relationship, you're making kind of a. Well, let me rephrase this because it depends on the type of relationship. Once again, this isn't every relationship at every level of relationship. However, you're making kind of a promise that I'm making decisions with you in mind still.
Right.
So there's a trust in, like, even though I don't agree with every decision, like, I can trust that you're not putting me in harm's way and you're taking every side into account and you're taking my feelings into account.
Right.
But I think you need to choose your battles and you need to choose which things are more important. Because like I said, we didn't have to do this episode. Is it going to boost us up
Y'all
that
go watch
much?
that episode.
Please.
Not really.
Please.
Because it was getting done.
You know?
It was getting done.
So maybe you may have a choice later down the line of something else that you need to make that move
And
from.
she even said...
And when you do it multiple times, it does become, all right, this thing is more important to you than anything else. Instead of it being kind of a healthy balance of, like, sometimes I have to make a decision, but it's, I think I don't know, maybe this wasn't the time to choose.
I think the first thing that came out of the buck was the most important.
The buck of Eli.
Was the most important thing.
Yeah.
And she said, you've told me since day one you have this vision in this like you've wanted to pursue entertainment since you were young. And I said I have this, and the ex even brought it up that I said it to her too, and
was one of the reasons why I don't even want to get into that.
Right.
Maybe it doesn't help you. But she highlighted that as a cause of some of the slowdown.
Right. Wait, what?
Because she was like, if you spend too much time with her, you'd be like, yo, I need a week because I need to work on my stuff.
Right. Exactly.
Because that's how much you was.
And I didn't even have a podcast at that time. I think I was editing like short films and documentaries when I met her. But it's like now I have this podcast that's very time consuming. So I told her from day one, and it was kind of like a little bit of an issue because I would be editing and she wanted to hang out. And I said from the jump, day one, I said, this is the time commitment to it. I want to spend time with you and get to know you too, but I don't want it to be a conflict because at the end of the day, I'm going to choose.
It's getting done.
It's getting done. And I said that from day one. And then so now, fast forward however long later, things haven't changed. And that's what she said. That was the first thing she said. She said, you told me that since day one. I didn't understand how important it was until this situation came up. And it made me realize that, yeah, maybe I don't want to take the back seat to this. And I said, yeah.
Well,
I said, need help packing? I said, well, this.
Was this yours or mine? No, you can have it. Just jokes.
Just jokes. It's all entertainment value.
This is a G.I. Jane joke.
Are you still making my favorite SpaghettiOs? I'll be home in an hour.
You still cutting the crust off my sandwiches in the baggie?
Goo says I should take your feelings into consideration. I can't wait to get home and try it.
Feelies.
Philly.
So it might strike a nerve, but I do believe things changed. Like you said, from day one, this podcast means everything to me. This is what I'm going to work on. So it should make sense that we're in this situation now and I'm choosing the podcast.
Right.
I don't think that's the case.
Talk to him, Guru. Speak to his soul, too.
You choose the podcast when it's convenient.
So wait, say that again?
I think the podcast is chosen when it's convenient.
You a choosy
biatch.
It's
unfair to say, this has been like the thing I'm running after, so like...
Hold on, man. You're doing it. She's paying you.
So, no, true stuff.
I heard the
because
ding.
here goes like...
There's no way you could say that. The hour, you know how long it takes to edit an episode.
We've put tons of time. Yeah. And we have put tons of time in this. However, I think we could have put more. Do I think we could have like grinded harder? Do I think that we could have had episodes coming out every 2 weeks?
Yeah, should be.
Yeah.
And I'm about to turn it up now. And if you ain't on the train, then
I hear you. But that does. Why hasn't it been? Why is it just now getting to that point?
What do you mean?
Why are we just now getting to the point where we're turning it up like that?
We have turned it up, kinda. Oh, because we had other distractions in life,
such as
commitment.
So that's what I'm saying. We haven't always been there. It's a place of now you're being like, oh, I don't feel like I'm putting enough in, or this, that, and the other. Like, you have taken energy in your eye off that prize. You have been focused on other things. You have been putting your energy elsewhere. So for her to say that hasn't been the way you've been moving always, though.
Yeah, that should be so that would even, for me, I don't know. I'm such a logical person. Right.
There you go.
So for me, I would be like, wow, this person told me that I'm going to have to take the back seat because this is important. This is a time commitment to him.
Yes.
And he said he was going to have a hard time balancing me and that.
Yes.
Yet, despite that, he's shown me some kind of level of commitment. Like, he's been sacrificing his own thing to build this thing. And so now he wants to compromise or he wants me to compromise and put my feelings to the back seat to support his podcast in the same way he's been supporting me. You know, she could come on because it was going to get done. Do that one. It was going to get
done.
Look, I agree with you, and I am in the same mindset. However, we're both artists, and you have to believe the majority of the world don't think like artists. And I think you have to realize that, like, how artists move and how artists think and how artists pursue certain things, or entrepreneurs, whatever. Even there's different types of people. They move differently, and
people who aren't in that will never understand it.
Yeah, but I think that's
a hard one.
I think if you're going to be in it, we
were watching the first Spiderman the other day, and one of the biggest quotes that came out of that was, with something comes great responsibility.
With great power.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And I was trying to draw a correlation because at the end of the movie, he realized he was in love with Mary Jane, right? But he realized that
being too close to her would put her in danger.
So he had a bigger calling.
Yeah.
So he had to, no matter how much he wanted that,
he had to get in them streets.
He had to get in the streets.
It was gonna get done.
It was gonna get done.
Even Spider-Man knew it.
So I was like, we have artists, creators, entrepreneurs have this calling that not everybody has. I don't know if this will stay in, but she doesn't have that calling. She has a different calling. She wants, some people just want to meet a partner, spend life together. It's not said in a negative way. It's just a different fulfillment than entrepreneurs, people who want everything out of life.
I don't necessarily think that's her calling either, but I get what you're saying.
Right. So whatever, that's irrelevant. I'm just saying, to say what you said, not everybody thinks like that.
Yeah.
Something's been instilled in us that we can't control, that if we don't at least attempt to feel it, like, we're going to be 80. Be like and subscribe. We got
Let's do an episode.
We got 9. We got 10. We're going to keep trying to do it. And if it's not a podcast, we're going to do something else. So it's like, I'll never be fulfilled unless I'm doing that.
So she had some.
So do I have to choose?
Right.
And I will choose. And I'll like Tobey Maguire. It's going to get done.
It's going to get done.
Because I think a relationship should be adding to your life, right?
That's what I said. However, I wanted her to be a part of it.
However, I think we're always I think people are quick to say a relationship should be adding to your life, and if it's not for you. However, you have to realize not only does relationship add to your life, but you have to give as well. So you have to decide what you're ready to give. And I think if that's not something you're ready to give, or if she's not adding to your life in the way you want her to, you shouldn't be in a relationship. And that's why I keep asking you.
And that's what I said. That was the most important thing that came out of it.
Is it worth it?
That's what I said. Out of the buck, no matter who was right, who was wrong, I was like, what you said is important. And that's a question that we need to ask ourselves moving forward. Because it did get to the point where it was like, this is about to end.
Sticky.
No, it was about to end over the podcast.
Let me ask you. Oh, my bad.
Go for it, because you haven't.
This is the question that will take this in a specific direction.
Yeah.
Because you said it. She said, if I step in front of this, will it make you resent me? What's your answer to that question? If she said no, and you didn't do it, even though it was going to get done.
It was going to get done.
But if you didn't do it, would that resentment be there?
No, because like we're joking.
You should have said yeah, but
we're joking that it was gonna get done, but part of the buck was that I was being selfish and not taking her feelings into consideration. So like once she expressed that like she didn't understand why I was still in contact, I cut it off. Like I stopped talking to her. You saw the messages.
Yeah.
So after it came up the first time I presented it to you guys, I said, "Hey, this is an idea for the episode." I reached out to her. She said she would be interested in doing it, and then we had a discussion about it. She expressed feeling uncomfortable about it, but like she said, we never really came to an agreement. And then when it got to the point where she really vocalized like she didn't understand why I was keeping this alive, and I took her feelings into consideration, and how much the relationship meant to me,
right?
And so I just I cut her off, and then I just dropped it. I honestly thought that it wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna happen, and I wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking about other episodes, and you heard what she said on the podcast. She said that she reached out to me to ask her about paint.
Right.
And then we started bantering. We always like go back to the
little sesh.
She stole my remote.
It's a sesh.
It's gonna. And I was like, this would be good. Again, it came up. I was like,
sesh.
I was like, this would be good on the episode. Yeah. And then so I made the executive decision that it was gonna happen.
And it did.
And it did.
And it
did. So I did take, or what would you say? In her mind, I didn't. The time between me cutting it off, it was 6 weeks. I did not think about the episode anymore. I was like Guru said, we're talented enough that we don't need this episode. We're going to continue. The podcast is going to go on. She called me. I answered it. We had a sesh, and I was like, man, that was when it came back. I was like, man, this needs to happen. And I said, why did you never come on the episode? And then she, decided to come on. So I did both. We're going to get in trouble with the ASL community. Either way, it's going to happen.
Either way.
What is it? What's the ASL for it was going to happen?
They need that. We're leaving them out.
Yeah, we need this podcast is gonna go to everybody.
It's gonna happen. Yo,
we want to be inclusive. What? Oh wait, no, they can't hear it. Never mind. What are the
crazy joke?
What other ways can we say that it was gonna happen?
Can we do a braille print of this episode?
Yeah. How do you? It's gonna happen. It was gonna.
Hold on. Oh yeah. Yup. It was gonna happen. Wait, hold up. Oh, that's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. Oh, bet that. You already know.
Oh man.
This is a G.I. Jane joke.
It was a G.I. Jane joke. Alopecia community. It was gonna happen. It was gonna happen. What? Will you put your hands on your bald head?
I almost spit out my water. Like, how many ways can we say?
How many ways can we
that it was gonna happen?
We can make it clear.
It was gonna happen.
Oh man. Even though we're making a lot of jokes, and I did take her feelings into consideration, and I think we are unexpectedly have found ourselves in a place that we probably didn't think that this relationship would get to.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So, and I think that does make these types of things harder, So, but at the end of the day,
All right. So I just think you should look in the camera right now and let your next know that your current is definitely coming on the podcast when this is over.
Yeah, that's a thing. All the exes is coming on.
All right, cool.
Yeah. It's the next podcast.
This is first date talk. Go ahead. We're gonna show them this clip. Let them know.
You will have to show this clip.
Right.
Be like, hey, this is what you can look forward to.
Right. But yeah, like I said, there was a buck, but we were able to get over it.
Moral of the story.
It's
gonna get done.
It's gonna get done. I'm gonna be myself, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, Guru. Any closing words? You really think we shouldn't have had my ex on the episode?
I thought it was a good episode, and because I know it was done in entertainment and it was a specific vision,
right?
I definitely understand her being uncomfortable with the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But me also being on this side with you, right. I know that was purely like, it made sense,
right,
in the scheme of the show. Appreciate it. Wait, whoa. We said 80. So I could see, as you saying, as a content creator, is this something that I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is something that could work.
Right.
I felt the same way.
Right.
Not discounting her.
Right.
But I thought it was a good episode. You know why it's hard to kind of get too deep into this is because at the end of the day, a lot of it is feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a percentage of it of like, yeah, I wouldn't want him to do this, but it's a huge percentage of it that's like, this is the guy I'm into.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that stuff comes in. Like, why? I don't see why you need to do that.
Right. Yeah, but I'm sure this will come back.
This ain't the end. Because the episode would have been out by the time they see this, but as of right now, it's not out. So it's coming back.
Right.
You best know it.
Right.
It's coming back.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll keep you guys updated. But continue to like and subscribe. Keep coming back or don't. We don't care this season. It's going to happen either way.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen either way. And we'll see you guys next time.
On Just Party. Last night the DJ saved my life. Last night the DJ saved my life.
We gotta ask her if she'll let us use that. You think she'll let us use that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
She gonna feel like we're making fun of her.
I know. You want me to ask her?
Yeah.
Last night the DJ saved my life.
Jay with the jokes, funny guy. Drew with the blah blah, telling crazy stories for a lifetime. Kemp got the wisdom for him, like nothing's ever that serious. And if you don't listen, then you're delirious.
Bro, you can't say that. Why not? Because we're live. I just said nothing's ever that serious.